Welcome back to my channel. This is Becky again, and I'm going to continue talking about the 4 rules of communication. So the first rule we're going to deep dive into in this video is called being honest. I know that sounds so cliche. You think, oh, in this day and age, how hard would it be? Everybody's speaking their truth. Not everybody. And those of us that are tapped into the good Lord above are able to see through, some of the lies and deception and the manipulation. So we're getting to a new stage of the game. I think we're in a holy war. But for those that are still thinking of it as a game, okay, we'll go with that. So the first rule of the game is to be honest. Instead, speaking the truth in love, we will in all things grow up in him who is the head, that is Christ. Ephesians 4:15. Speaking the truth is good, and in fact, it's a command from God. Better yet, speaking the truth in love is Christ-like. So question for you, what does it mean to speak the truth in love? Give you a minute just to reflect on that. Jesus always spoke the truth, and he is the truth, but he never used the truth like a weapon in relationships. This is not to say that he was always calm and quiet, for our Lord was a man of great passion. You can read about it in John 2:14 and Matthew 23. Yet, first and always, he was a man of love, speaking in the best interests of all the hearers, even if what he had to say was hard to hear. And I know I'm not the only messenger sometimes who has to deliver messages to people that don't want to hear the messages, but it doesn't mean that we don't say the messages with love. We would be dishonoring God if we turned a blind eye. And so it's important for us to always speak truth, but with love and compassion. Speaking and hearing the truth, even in love, can be difficult and creates discomfort. But if the motive behind the speaking is love and not anger or bitterness, the potential for healing communication are excellent. And that is one of the services that I can help provide, is giving you clarity with situations that you're facing in your life and giving you biblical as well as spiritual wisdom that you can then make choices for yourself using your own free will that God has given all of us to be able to move forward in making your life the best it could possibly be. So in this passage and in the original ancient language, the idea of speaking was one of continuous action. That is, you keep speaking. This doesn't mean to dominate or bully the conversation. It does mean to keep participating, stay engaged, and don't clam up. I know all of us have to figure out how to use our voice to benefit others while protecting ourselves at the same time. So here's an interesting question. Can someone be dishonest by what they do not say? Others can't read your mind, and if you drop out of the dialogue, others will have to try and guess what you're thinking. 1 Corinthians 2:11. For who among men or women know the thoughts of man? Silence can reveal a lot. And I think that that's an art that a lot of people have forgotten. To sit back and let people reveal themselves through their words and through their actions. And then you can make decisions accordingly based on what they've shown that they have to offer and whether or not you wish to participate in what they have to offer. So also, cutting off communication by crying, fits of rage, or emotional explosions, leaving home, or demanding to have the last word. Well, those are all acts of pride and manipulation and are certainly not Christ-like. I can see your actions, but I won't know what you're thinking or feeling unless you tell me. And how you tell me, well, the tone, the volume, the intensity of your voice will greatly affect my hearing and understanding. Remember, speak the truth in love. The truth and love. A great way to do this is to grow up. Think back to Ephesians 4:15. Grow up in him who is the head, that is Christ. Our communication role model is Jesus, not the world. Growing up requires putting off childish ways. Paul says in 1 Corinthians 13:11, when I was a child, I talked like a child, I thought like a child, and I reasoned like a child. But when I became a man, or an adult, I put childish ways behind me. Children can communicate, but consistently effective Christ-like communication requires hard work and self-control by mature people who are willing to listen as much or more than they talk. You can read Genesis 2:15 through 3:13, where it talks about Adam and Eve had a perfect place to live, a perfect relationship with one another and with the Lord. Then something happened. What was it? They went from everything being perfect to telling half-truths, casting blame, avoiding responsibility, and hiding from God. What caused the terrible change, and how did it change their communication? Okay, if the command is to grow up, exactly how do we do that? Paul explains that in Ephesians 4:20-25, you, however, did not come to know Christ in that way, that is, through sin. Surely you heard of him and were taught in a way in accordance with the truth that is Christ. You were taught with regard to your former way of life to put off your old self, which is being corrupted by its deceitful desires, and to be made new in the attitude of your minds, and to put on the new self, created to be like God in true righteousness and holiness. Therefore, each of you must put off falsehood and speak truthfully to his neighbor, for we are all members of one body. It can be easy to forget that we are all one. So we have to look out for each other. We're all just walking each other home. When it comes to communication, we humans can develop many bad, sinful habits. From young children to senior citizens, the things that we say and don't say, the way we react, even how we use our eyes and gestures can become deeply ingrained, and they can overtake our communication. And continually bringing up old issues from the past, well, that becomes landmines to effective communication. So, we want to continue to respect and honor that each of us is a sovereign being that is representative of God. All walks of life, all shades of color. God chose you to be here for this time and for a reason. And it's up to us to figure out what that reason is. And if you need a little help and a little guidance, you can always reach out to me through the link in the bio. It has my schedule calendar. You can also email me at homans.consulting@gmail.com, which is plastered all over my Instagram feed. And I really appreciate that you took the time to watch this video, and stay tuned because we will be discussing the second rule of communication in the next video. And I look forward to talking with you then. Have a great day.